Hey everyone, welcome to the last part of my in-depth review of the new Khorne Daemonkin Codex. That came out today. It's been a lot of fun going through it. This part will be going over the heavy support choices and the Lord of War, which is of course the Lord of Skulls. But yeah, so basically just to summarize the heavy support choices. If you liked them before, you're going to still like them now. Pretty much any of the demons didn't change in price, and the Space Marines all went up by like 5 points in the heavy support. But we'll start off Chaos Land Raider. Chaos Land Raider is the same old Chaos Land Raider. 230 points for the same Chaos Land Raider. Armor 14 around, 4 hull points. Skill 4. 10 model carrying capacity. It's a Land Raider. A Land Raider is a Land Raider is a Land Raider. Up next we have the Forge Fiend, which is 180 points. It used to be 175, so now it's gone up by 5 points. It's the same Forge Fiend as before. Weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3, strength 6, front and side armor 12, rear armor 10, initiative 3, 2 attacks, 3 hull points. And it comes with 2 Hades autocannons and demonic possession, but I think it's better to replace them with the autocannons with the ectoplasma cannons. That way you get plasma cannons for free. So if you liked running the Forge Fiend before, you're going to still like it running it now. It has Blood for the Blood God, and it's a Demon of Khorne, so it has an invulnerable save, which is nice. 5-up invulnerable save to help keep your guy alive. Again, if you liked him before, you're going to still like him now. There's nothing really that different with him in this codex. It also is fleet and it will not die, so keep him alive. He won't be jumping into close combat that often, but if you want to, he can. Up next, though, we have the Mauler Fiend. Now, he wants to get in close combat. He's also he's a walker as well, and he went up to 130 points. He used to be 125, so once again a 5-point increase. The Mauler Fiend is weapon skill, ballistic skill 3, strength 6, front armor 12, sided 12, rear 10, initiative 3, 2 attacks, 3 hull points. Except it has 2 Power Fists, Demonic Possession, and 2 Magna Cutters, and it also has Blood for the Blood God. Demon of Khorne, fleet, it will not die and move through cover. That way it gets into close combat ASAP. Demon Forge, once again, you can just you can activate Demon Forge once per game to reroll all to wound rolls, and failed armor penetration rolls. But then you roll a d6 at the end. On a 1, he's suffers a hull point. Siege Crawler, Mauler Fiends can move up to 12 inches in the movement phase and are not slowed by difficult terrain. In addition, in close combat, Mauler Fiend adds +1 to armor penetration rolls against buildings. And you can replace the Magna Cutters with 2 sets of Lasher Tendrils. Let's look up Magna Cutters and Lasher Tendrils quickly. Magna Cutters and Lasher Tendrils. So Magna Cutters is what it basically base comes with. And it should be a melee weapon. Oh, it's probably a weapon. Let me see. Magna Cutters, Lasher Tendrils. Magna Cutters, here we go. If a Mauler Fiend hits at least 1 attack in the fight subphase, it may make an additional attack with 1 of its Magna Cutters against one of the Mauls it hit. And their Strength 8, AP 1, Armor Bane. So that's pretty sweet. Versus the Lasher Tendrils, which each set of Lasher Tendrils reduces the attacks characteristics of every model in base by 1. So, if, for example, a model in base with 2 Mauler Fiends, each of its has 2 sets of Lasher Tendrils. It has 4 fewer attacks. That's pretty hilarious. So then combined with other models can have some fun. But, I don't know. Either one could be very useful. If you liked the Mauler Fiend before, you'll still like the Mauler Fiend now. Up next we have the Defiler. Defi. Dave's favorite model. The Defiler. 200 points. 200 points. Went up by 5. Used to be 195. And once again, you like the Defiler before, you'll still like it. Today, it's pretty much the same old. Still, weapon skill 3, strength 8, front armor 12, side 12, rear 10, initiative 3, 3 attacks, 4 hull points. Your warrior, you get a battle cannon, Reaper auto cannon, twin-linked heavy flamer, 2 power fists, demonic possession, searchlight smoke launchers, special rules, blood for the blood god, demon of Khorne, it will not die, and fleet. Has Demon Forge. And you can give it a Havoc Launcher for 5, Power Scorch for 25, You may replace his Reaper autocannon with a Power Fist for free, Twin Linked Heavy Bolter for free, Twin Linked Glass Cannon for 20 points, which might be worth it for some armor penetration rolls. So once again, as I said, this heavy support is pretty much cut and dry. If you really liked it before, you'll still like it now. It's 5 points more expensive, but it'll still just be as good. The Soul Grinder. Now the Soul Grinder is interesting to me. It's 135 points. It used to be 135 points, so same thing. Same, I just think it's always a cool model. But same style line as before. Weapon skill is skill 3, strength 10, sorry, strength 6, not strength 10, sorry. Front armor, side armor 13, rear 11, initiative 3, 4 attacks, 4 hull points. Let me double check. I thought that the Defi was front armor 12. I'll try to choose after. War gear, Harvester Cannon and an Iron Claw. Special rules, Blood for the Blood God, Demon of Khorne, Deep Strike, Demon of Resilience. A vehicle with a special rule ignores Crew Shake and Crew Stun, results on a 2-up. Makes sense, but still lose a hull point. Take a Baleful Torrent for 20 points, which I highly recommend it. They're pretty fun. Let me double check. I think Defi was... I think he was 11 around, or 12 around. And I'm going to take a Warp Sword for 25 points. Up next, the Hellbrute, the Dreadnought of the Chaos Space Marine Army. Create. Let me see, Defi. Oh, I think Defiler was actually one of the... Did Defiler get moved? Heavy. Here we go. Defiler. No, one of them got moved. It was... Oh, it was the... No. It was the Hellbrute that got moved. Hellbrute used to be an elite slot, and now Hellbrute is in the heavy support slot. Cool. Frees up some of the elite slots. And for 100 points, I think that's the only one that didn't change in cost. Yeah, 100 points. It used to be 100 as well. You get a Hellbrute with a multi-melt and a Power Fist, Blood for the Blood God, and it's crazed. Each time a Hellbrute takes a glancing or penetrating hit but doesn't destroy it, place a craze marker by the model. Start of each of your movement phases, roll a d3 on the table below if the Hellbrute has 1 or more crazed markers next to it. After rolling, remove all crazed markers from the Hellbrute. So on 1 Fire Frenzy, Hellbrute is immobilized until the end of your turn. If unengaged, it fires all of its weapons twice this shooting phase. If possible, the target must be a unit that caused 1 or more glancing or penetrating hits to the Hellbrute in the previous turn. If not, the target must be the nearest vehicle nearby, visible nearby. Enemy. 2, Rising Fury. Hellbrute immediately recovers from Crew Stun and Crew Shake results. It has the Rage special rule until the end of the turn. And on a 3, Blood Rage. Hellbrute immediately recovers from any Crew Shake and Crew Stun results. It has the Fleet and Rage special rules until the end of its next turn. If during this turn's shooting phase the Hellbrute is not within maximum charge range of enemy units, it must run as far as possible towards an enemy unit. If this is not possible for any reason, it may fire its weapons as normal. So, cool stuff. Once again, if you liked the Hellbrute before, you still will. It's wacky, it's toony, it's all little loonies, and hopefully it doesn't go crazy and just shoot stuff. Yeah. Up next we have the Skull Cannon. The Skull Cannon is a heavy support choice. It is a chariot, it's open-topped, ballistic skill 5, 12, 12, 10, 3 hull points, 125 points. So it's the same as before. And it comes with a Skull Cannon. The Skull Cannon, let me double check, is pretty fun, I think. I remember correctly. Skull Cannon. Let's see. Skull Cannon is, yeah, it was cool. It has 36 in range, strength 8, AP 5, heavy 1, Dread Skulls, ignores cover, large blast. And Dread Skulls place a marker next to each unit that takes 1 or more hits from this weapon. Any friendly unit with the Khorne Daemonkin faction that charges a unit so marked does not suffer the initiative penalty when charging through difficult terrain. Remove any Dread Skull markers at the end of the assault phase. Cool. So that'll help. It's a support piece. It's interesting. You know, it's an interesting choice. I don't know if anybody take it. It's a very interesting support piece, but it can do some damage. Large, you know, ignores cover. It'll be great against orcs, Tyranids, you know, Tau. Anything that really wants cover. That's pretty sweet. And that's it. That's the heavy support choices. As I said, sum it up, they're the same old heavy support choices. Not really that much new, other than the fact that they have Blood for the Blood God. So that's the key. So you want them to die or you want them to kill stuff. And by doing so, they kill stuff or they die, they make your army stronger than the following turn. That's about basically it. So you want to be as aggressive as possible. You want to go down swinging. Sacrifice some stuff, they die, you get stronger next turn. Feel no pain around, summon some demons, Demon Prince, Bloodthirster. That's basically it. And finally, Lord of Skulls. The Lord of Skulls is a Lord of War, which makes sense because it's Lord of Skulls. Also, it's really expensive. Of course, it is a Khorne thing, so it has to be 888 points. Because that's the way they rule. 888 points. It's a Lord of Skull, so it's weapon skill 4, but skill 3, strength 10, front 13, side 13, rear 11, initiative 3, 4, attacks 9 hull points. It's a super heavy walker. And weapon, war gear, you get a Gore Storm Cannon, Hades Gatling Cannon, Great Cleaver of Khorne, and a Demonic Possession. Special rules, Blood for the Blood God, Demon of Khorne, Fleet, It Will Not Die, and Rage. As a Demon Forge, fueled by Rage, for every hull point the Lord's Skull has lost, it gains an additional attack, even if that hull point is later regained. Pretty sweet, but it cannot exceed 10. Tracked Behemoth, a Lord of Skulls can tank shock or ram using its Thunderblitz table in the same manner as a super heavy vehicle, but it may not stop. Cool stuff. For 10 points you get an Ichor Cannon, might as well. Or Demon replaces Gore Storm Cannon with a Demon Gore Cannon for 65 points. Might be worth it. As I said, it's already a giant points. And also you take a Hades Gatling Cannon with a Skull Hurler for 60 points. So, that's it. That's the Lord of Skulls. You know, it always kind of reminded me of something from Power Rangers. And that's it. So let's talk about the final impressions. As I said, so it was basically the same as before. So what do I think of this codex overall? The key to this codex's success is you have to be super aggressive. Probably min units. And because it's formations, you can take tons of min units. And with min units, they will kill stuff or they will die. And if they die, you get the Blood Tithe points, which then can be used to be hilarious. The key to this codex is the Blood Tithe points. That's what I keep saying. All the Space Marines got slightly more expensive, which kind of makes sense in the fact that if you can get them all Feel No Pain very easily, it's pretty easy to get those 3 points to give them Feel No Pain. And you have army-wide Feel No Pain, basically. That's insane. Like, that's insane. Everything will have Feel No Pain. In your army, pretty powerful stuff. That makes sense to balance it by a points increase. I think it might be fun to try to, you know, with min units, as I said, min units of cultists, for example, you throw them all at your opponent and they die. Then you get up to 8 points, you summon a Bloodthirster, and have so much fun. Or a Demon Prince, or some demons, you know, I think that'll be fun. It's going to be abused. There's going to be some really cheese lists in here, I think, because there are going to be some demon summoning galore. A Bloodthirster instead of your HQ. So if that's the case, take a champion. Not a champion, a Lord. Because I definitely recommend for the HQs taking 1 Chaos Lord at least, because Chaos Lords are leadership 10, and they're only 75 points. So for 75 points, you get an HQ, which at any point, if you get those 8 points, you can bring in a Bloodthirster instead. That's pretty good. Maybe take 2 of them. 150 points, you can take 2 Bloodthirsters instead. You know, the odds of them coming in instead of that guy, pretty high. Pretty high indeed. You just have to get the points. And that's the key. You just got to figure out a way to get as many points as you can, and that will be the key to victory. The warlord traits are pretty good. The artifacts are decent. There's a couple of ones that might be really good. But as I said, the key is just to be as aggressive as possible, because now everyone is the Mark of Khorne, which gives rage and counterattack. So either way, you're going to be super aggressive in close combat. And you want to throw yourself at your opponent. If you die, it's just as good as killing them, because you can get more Blood Tithe tokens, and you give that Feel No Pain. I definitely recommend taking the formations. The formations are all amazing. They all just give benefits for taking what you're going to take in the first place. There are some interesting combinations of like bikes and demons combined, but still, if you're going to take them, you're going to take them anyway. And it gives benefits for just taking what you would have normally taken, you know? Hell, I was actually kind of surprised that the Helldrake remained unscathed. I thought it was going to get upped in points, but no, that's actually really good. People liked it before. As I said, the fast attacks, if you liked them before, you're going to still take them. The heavy supports, it's the same as always, slightly more expensive, but just as efficient. The fast attack, I think, is going to be really aggressive too. So I think people are going to really taking like Warp Talons. I think we'll have some really fun there. And maybe some bikers. Bikers will be really good too. As for troops, a large amount of min squads of cultists might be the way to go. You're going to give up First Blood probably, but you're going to get tons of Tithe tokens, which will just be hilarious. Berserkers are still just as fun as before. Bloodletters, if you liked them before, same. And Chaos Space Marines got better because you can feel no pain pretty easily. As far as HQs go, I love the Bloodthirsters. The Incident Rage one, pretty cool. He's going to be pretty awesome, ripping apart things on the tabletop. Yeah, so those are my thoughts. As I said, the key is going to be the Blood Tithe tokens, and people are going to abuse the crap out of them. But that's going to be the key to this codex. That's the only big difference between this codex, other than the previous ones. You know, they all have better rules because they're all Khorne, but still, it's the Blood Tithe table. It's going to really bring some craziness to this codex. So as always, thank you very much for watching this codex review. Leave comments in the comment section down below if you felt I missed anything, or if you add anything to the discussion, you agree with me, and we'll have a discussion about this codex. I think it's going to be an interesting one. I'm very curious to see how it's going to do on the table, and what kind of list will excel in this codex. So I'm going to have to think about this one. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting. Figure 8s for Khorne.